Hi, I'm Kathy from Absolutely Fabulous at Home here in New Minas. Today I thought I'd talk to you about setting up your home bar. There are a few basics you need to set up a home bar. One of them might be a good recipe book. And in the good recipe book will be the basic listings for things like the equipment that you might need. So get yourself a good book on cocktails. It is a recipe book, and like any recipe, there are certain tools and ingredients you need to guarantee success. So for most cocktails, you need a shaker of some sort. This is your standard shaker, also called a cobbler. It's in three pieces. You have the container or the jug, the top, and the top is in two parts. It has a built-in strainer, and then it has a little cap. The thing about this is there's not usually any silicone, so it's a few quick shakes, but because it's not got silicone, you might get a drip or two out. Perfectly normal. The second kind of shaker, or style of shaker, is called the Boston shaker. And it can be either a glass base, and this one's kind of cool because it has recipes on it, so if you don't have a cocktail book, there's your cocktail book. But the lid has a little silicone rim so that when you put the two of them together, you do have a watertight seal. Same idea with the built-in shaker as part of the top, or built-in strainer as part of the top, and the little cap that goes on. Same deal, shake and pour. So those are your shakers. But in order to get success, you have to have measurers. And this is a measured shot glass. And so you can see here it's in milliliters, and it's also in ounces, down to, I think it's 1/4 of an ounce. That's one way. This is a new heavy glass one. And you also can get them in metal. They have the same idea. They have all of the measurements down the outside, and you're reading it from the inside based on the grooves. Like any recipe, measuring is really important, even when you're mixing up a drink. It's a proportion of sweet to alcohol, or if you're not using alcohol, which is very common now, a lot of mocktails going on, you still need the right proportion of flavors, or it ends up being too strong and not as enjoyable. So, shakers, measurers, mixing spoon. And what makes a mixing spoon interesting, there's two kinds of mixing spoons. There's this one, your basic cocktail mixing spoon. But you see how it spirals down? Well, if I hold this spoon in a glass and I pour a fizzy water down here, tonic water or any kind of sparkling water, it follows this twist all the way down into the glass and doesn't lose the fizz. When I pour it directly, if I pour sparkling water directly into a glass, it instantly fizzes up, so it's not as fizzy when you take your first drink. This helps keep the fizz in the glass till you're ready to drink it. That's one style of spoon. And the other one is a telescopic spoon. So you can see here, this is it when it's all folded up, 5.5 inches, but it stretches out to 13 1/3 inches. So that's kind of nice if you've got a small space to store all your cocktail gear, but it doesn't have the little twist. Then you come to some of the fun stuff. You've got your shakers, you've got your measures, you've got your spoon, you've got your recipe book. You're going to need ice cubes. Ice cubes come in nice squares. This one has, I don't have this one open because it's all taped shut, but you've got a nice square here, about 1 inch square, silicone. They pop out a set of 2, so you've got 24. This one is the old-fashioned cracked ice. So you can see you pour it into the stainless steel tray, you pull the lever, it cracks the ice. And some recipes call for cracked ice. The reason that is cracked ice has all these little cracks in it. So whatever liquid you've added to it chills even faster than just being around the cube. So kind of interesting and kind of fun to do. And then some drinks just need little tiny cubes, and this little hexagon one is perfect for that. Another silicone jobby where you can just pop them out very easily. And my favorite, if you like to store ice cubes in the fridge, is this one from Good Grips. So the reason I like this is it has the lid on it. So if I can slide it, I can never do that because they're all slid in, but the lid slides off. You can stack them all. Lid goes back on, obviously, before you do that. Seals it so you don't get that freezer taste. And then you can stack as many as you want. I've had mine, oh my goodness, 9 years. And it just twists and they all snap out, and they're an average size cube. They're kind of half moon shape. So that works really well if you wanted to put a slice of lemon or a slice of orange or lime and freeze it in your ice cube. It's the perfect half moon shape to do that. Then you come to things like specialty items. If you're into mojitos, mojitos require a straight up and down glass and a muddler. You can buy the muddler separately, so if you already have the glasses, you don't need to buy the whole kit. The garnishing tray. This is a lot of fun. So you're having a crowd over for drinks. You don't want to spend your whole evening cutting up lemons, getting everything out of little jars. It's much more convenient and probably more hygienic to have them all in little containers with snap down lids, so you can put four, there are four here all together, in a little tray. You carry the whole thing out to the bar and you're mixing your drinks and you're grabbing your lemons or your limes or your cherries or your olives or whatever it is you need, and then you can close the lid on it so the flies don't get it if you're mixing outside, and it keeps it all nice and fresh. Another thing we sell quite a bit of is a rimmer. If you like a cocktail that has a salt or a sugar on the rim of the glass, a rimmer is very convenient. It comes in two parts. This holds a liquid, so if you were doing a margarita, it might have lime, and then your salt would be in the container, or your, where are you? Margarita mix. Already set up so you don't have to do it, and you just pour it in here. And you just twist your glass in and rim your glass. What else do we have? You really want to get into setting up your bar? The bar knife. Perfect for cutting up your lemons and your limes. Has a built-in bottle opener. Has a little pick so that you can get an olive or cherry out of a jar or out of your convenient little container. And it even comes with a little peeler so that you can do those little twists of lemon or lime. Same as this. This is your zester. So a lot of the time a drink, especially the summer drinks, have a little bit of citrus in it because that's so refreshing. And so this one has the large peeler, which gives you those little twists, and then you have the smaller lemon zest. Just the wooden handles are comfortable, and they make an attractive addition to your bar set as well. What else have we got? So wooden rimmers and wooden muddlers. And you can see wood is important to use if you're squishing your mint leaves for mojitos, because it's not going to break the glass when it hits it. It is very easy to use. You're just gently crushing the mint leaves to release what is essentially the oil out of the mint for the flavor. Remember the Bond movies? Shaken, not stirred. So obviously there's an option, if you're not going to shake, to stir. And when you stir, you need a pitcher. So it might be something like this, which is a measuring pitcher, or it might be something like this, which is a heavy crystal style pitcher. And in that case, you still need to have a way to strain your liquid out of your ice. So you need what's called a Hawthorne strainer. You can also get them separately, because if you didn't have the pitcher and you wanted to use the bottom of your shaker, you could turn it into the same idea and put the Hawthorne strainer on it in order to strain out the ice. So the last thing you need, besides the booze, you need some mix. You need bitters, mixes. These are cocktail or soda mixes. This is Split Tree, a Canadian company, all kinds of amazing flavors. Bitters, which as one customer described to me, are like adding spice to cookies. They just kind of liven things up. And then for your mocktails, if you're drinking a non-alcoholic drink, which a lot of people are, you may want some de-alcoholized alcohol. So this is gin that has been de-alcoholized. So there's a classic, a rosé, and a wild, and these are all made in Sweden. They taste very similar to gin. They have all those same botanicals. They just don't have the alcohol. So whatever you're doing to set up your summer bar, have some fun with it. And don't forget the ice mallet. You put your ice in the bag, you hit it with the mallet. There's a scoop to help you get it out of the bag, and it just makes you look like you've done a lot of work to make your guests beautiful cocktails.